Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, subscribe. So today's video is going to be all about how to get A's in college. I do just want to do a disclaimer that getting straight A's in college is not a normal thing. People don't get that, and that really shouldn't be your goal because that's a pretty lofty goal. And I actually only got straight A's once in my whole college career, and that was the first semester of my senior year of college. I'm just deriving these tips and stuff from what I did that first semester of senior year because that is the one and only time in my college career that I actually legitimately got straight A's. I hope these are helpful. If you enjoyed this video, like it, leave requests below and we'll do them. Okay, let's get into it. Tip number one is to use professor rating websites. There's Rate My Professor, and then at Columbia they have a specific website just for Columbia called Culpa. If you just Google Culpa, Columbia University, C-U-L-P-A, it has a bunch of professor reviews. I found that really helpful. This might seem like a funny tip for how to get A's, but you should really listen to those reviews because when people say that a professor is really bad or a hard grader or blah blah blah, you might want to steer clear of that professor. Of course, if it's unavoidable, say it's a class for your major, and just the way things work out, you have to take it. At least you'll be prepared and you've read the negative reviews and you're ready to take it on. But otherwise, I would say the reviews are pretty spot on most of the time. So if you avoid the harder professors, you're more likely to get A's. Yeah, it's not really something you have to do, like any work you have to put in to get A's. It's just like avoiding the professor who won't give you an A. My second kind of hack or trick is to set a timer. The magical amount of time for me is 20 minutes. When I set a timer for 20 minutes, I feel like I can do anything for that amount of time. 10 minutes just seems like such a short amount of time. Same with 15. It's like, okay, what are you gonna get done in that amount of time? But then half an hour seems very daunting. So I always just do 20 minutes. And I will literally be in the library, I'll take my phone out, I'll set the timer for 20 minutes, I'll do whatever it is I'm doing, I'll just do it for 20 minutes and then take a break after that. Studying with no end in sight is very intimidating, and it also makes me want to be more unproductive because it's just like,
oh my god, when is this gonna end?
But when you set a 20-minute timer, you know exactly when it's gonna end and you can take small breaks in between. It's just something that helped me mentally with studying, was seeing that the end is near and only working in 20-minute time increments. So the next hack has to do with rewards. So for example, with the 20-minute timer, after you do say 3 sections of a 20-minute timer, that's an hour. I'm not a math major, but I can do that math. So say after you do 3 of those, you can reward yourself with something small. So maybe that's, setting another timer to do like 15 minutes of social media time. In the library that I was always at downstairs was a cafe. Maybe that means going to get a coffee or a drink. I just feel like when you have that kind of goal and then you're looking forward to something, you actually want to do the work, because I'm just a very food motivated person. And so when I, in my mind, was like, okay, you'll get like a cookie if you do this, then that worked for me. And I stand by that. I feel like it's a good tip and you guys should try it. Okay, so another tip is what to do with large assignments. So as a philosophy major, former English major turned English minor, I typically had essays as my assignments over and over again. I wrote so many essays in my college career. It's literally ridiculous. At Oxford, I wrote an essay a week. We don't need to talk about it. It was a rough time. But what helped me with those assignments was breaking it up into smaller pieces. So for example, the semester that I got all A's, one of my final papers for a class called the American Diva had to be 15 pages, and then another one of my final papers for a class called Trading Nature had to be like 30 pages. And so obviously that's a lot of work, and it's very daunting too when you have finals piling on top of each other. So what you need to do is split those babies up. What I mean by that is the 15-page paper, either split it up into 3 chunks of 5 or 5 chunks of 3. And so I'm pretty sure I did 5 chunks of 3. So for 1 week, Monday through Friday, I did 3 pages a day. And when you do it that way, it's really not that big of a deal. You know, if you start Monday writing 3 pages a day, by the time Friday rolls around, you have your whole first draft done. Use a planner, use a schedule, print out a calendar, whatever, and physically write out what you're gonna do that day. Because say you have this 15-page paper due and you just write on your calendar, write 15-page paper, that's so ambiguous. You need more concrete goals, at least I do, to actually make headway. So I would literally write 3 pages, write 3 pages, write 3 pages 5 times, and then in the end I had my whole first draft. And that also helped with procrastination and feeling like I had a lot to do in a short amount of time. I'm honestly not someone who works well under pressure. I know some people are like, oh, I can't get an assignment done until the night before it's done. I crack under pressure. Don't put me under pressure. I will not do well. That's also really what was helpful, because I never ended up with a lot of work on one day because I kind of spread it out that way. And the very last tip is to go to office hours. So I found that the professors who know me on a more personal level, I feel like I tend to get better grades, and my thinking behind that is if a professor knows you, if they've spoken to you on that personal level, if you're ever on the cusp of jumping from one grade to another, say it's an 89 to a 90, or even an A- to an A, or an A to an A+, I feel like maybe they'll be more inclined to boost you up if they know you on that personal level. This is just a theory. I guess I can never know for sure about this one, but I really do think it's true. And if you go to office hours to ask questions, it'll show that you're engaged. If you go for more information about a topic, it'll show that you're interested. And also in like a seminar type setting, try to participate. That one is sometimes tricky for me because it depends on how confident I am in the class or with the subject material, but try to participate, and even if what you say is wrong, it'll still help you, because the professor, when they're grading, will be thinking positively of you because they will know that you are engaged in the class. And so yeah, that is my last tip, is just make sure that the professor actually knows you. Make sure that they can put your name to your face, basically. Okay, I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them below. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you have any video requests, leave them below. And DM us on Instagram. We answer all of our DMs. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Okay, yeah, that is all. I'll see you guys in the next video.